I always knew my family saw me as a bank account with legs, but I never thought they'd actually rob me blind. My name is Maya, and I've been the responsible one for as long as I can remember. While my younger sister Sasha was getting her nails done and posting Instagram stories, I was working 60-hour weeks in international finance, sending money home, and making sure everyone else's life stayed picture perfect. The call came on a Tuesday morning in Singapore, where I'd been stationed for the past 8 months. I was reviewing quarterly reports when my laptop chimed with an incoming video call from home. Mom's face filled the screen, practically glowing with excitement. "Maya! Oh, honey, we have the most wonderful news." I leaned back in my chair, already sensing trouble. Mom only used that sing-song voice when she wanted something or had done something she knew I wouldn't like. "What's going on?" "Well, you know how Sasha's been planning her wedding to Xander. The wedding that's costing more than most people's houses?" I interrupted. Mom's smile faltered for half a second. "It's a once-in-a-lifetime event, Maya. Anyway, we found the perfect solution for the funding issue." My stomach dropped. "What kind of solution?" Dad's face appeared beside Mom's, wearing that jovial expression he always put on when he was about to deliver bad news, like it was a gift. "We sold your apartment." The words hit me like a physical blow. "You what?" "The downtown condo," Mom chirped. "We got an excellent price for it. More than enough to cover Sasha's wedding expenses and then some." I stared at the screen, my mind reeling. "That's my apartment. My name is on the deed." "Well, technically yes, but we've been managing it while you're away," Dad said, his tone suggesting this was perfectly reasonable. "And since you're not using it—" "I'm not using it because I'm working overseas to pay for everyone else's lifestyle." Sasha's face suddenly filled the frame, pushing our parents aside. She was radiant, practically bouncing with excitement. "Maya, isn't it perfect? Now I can have the wedding of my dreams at the Grandview Estate. 300 guests, live orchestra, imported flowers. Everything I've always wanted. Using money from selling my home," Sasha waved dismissively. "You can always buy another apartment when you get back. Besides, you're never even there. At least this way the money's going to something meaningful." "Meaningful." I repeated the word slowly, tasting its bitterness. "The wedding is in 6 weeks, Mom added. "We've already put down deposits on everything. The venue, the caterer, Sasha's dress. It's going to be absolutely magical." I looked at their faces on the screen, Mom beaming with pride, Dad nodding along like he'd just announced a promotion, and Sasha glowing with self-satisfaction. Not one of them showed even a flicker of guilt or concern for what they'd done to me. "How exactly did you manage to sell property that's in my name?" Dad cleared his throat. "Well, we may have handled some of the paperwork ourselves. You know how these things work. Family helping family. You forged my signature." "That's such an ugly way to put it," Mom said, her voice taking on that wounded tone she used whenever anyone called out her behavior. "We're family. We look out for each other." "By committing fraud." Sasha rolled her eyes. "God, Maya, you're being so dramatic. It's not like you can't afford another place. You make tons of money." "Money I've been sending home to keep this family afloat. And we're grateful," Dad said quickly. "This is just a one-time thing. For Sasha's special day." I stared at them. These people who shared my DNA but felt like strangers. The apartment wasn't just property to me. It was my sanctuary. My proof that I'd made something of myself. My escape from the suffocating dynamics of this family. And they'd sold it like it was a used car. "Maya?" Mom's voice was cautious now. "Say something. Aren't you happy for your sister?" I forced my expression into neutral territory, years of corporate negotiations teaching me to hide my emotions. "Congratulations, Sasha. I'm sure it'll be a beautiful wedding." Sasha clapped her hands together. "I knew you'd understand. You're the best big sister ever." "I have to go," I said, my finger hovering over the disconnect button. "Work calls." "Of course, honey," Mom said, We love you. I ended the call and sat in the silence of my Singapore office, staring at my reflection in the black screen. They thought they'd played me perfectly. The dutiful daughter who'd swallow this betrayal with a smile and maybe even send a wedding gift. They had no idea what they'd just unleashed. I picked up my phone and scrolled to a contact I hadn't called in months. Kinley answered on the second ring. Maya, what's wrong? I need a favor, I said, my voice steady as steel. And it's going to get messy. I'm listening. My family just made the biggest mistake of their lives, and I'm about to show them exactly what the responsible daughter is capable of. I smiled for the first time since the call ended. Congratulations, Sasha, but you might want to check your own mail soon. Start from the beginning, Kinley said, her voice sharp with focus. What exactly did they do? I paced my hotel room, phone pressed to my ear. They sold my downtown condo, forged my signature on the documents, used the money for Sasha's wedding. Jesus, Maya. That's straight up fraud. Gets better. They've been managing the property while I'm overseas, so they had access to everything. Keys, documents, the works. How much are we talking about? The condo's worth about $400,000. They probably got close to that. Maybe more in this market. Kinley whistled low. Okay, first things first. Do you have copies of the original deed and mortgage documents? Everything's in my secure cloud storage. I learned a long time ago not to trust my family with important paperwork. Smart. What else do they have access to? I stopped pacing. This was the part I'd been dreading to admit out loud. Nothing. At least, nothing they know about. Meaning? Remember when I set up that holding company 3 years ago? Meridian Holdings? The one you used for your investment properties? Yeah. What about it? I transferred ownership of the condo to Meridian 6 months after I bought it. My parents think they sold property I owned directly, but legally, they just committed fraud against a corporation. Maya, you beautiful paranoid genius. So the sale is completely invalid? Completely. But there's more. I sat down on the bed, suddenly feeling the weight of what I was about to reveal. Kinley, who do you think has been paying my parents' mortgage for the past 4 years? Silence stretched across the line. Then, no. Tell me you didn't. Meridian Holdings has been making their mortgage payments. Anonymous benefactor, they think. Some distant relative who wanted to help but stay private. How much? $2,800 a month. Plus, I've been covering their credit card debt, car payments, and half of Sasha's college loans. All through shell accounts they can't trace back to me. Holy shit, Maya. You've been bankrolling their entire lifestyle? While living in a studio apartment in Singapore and eating ramen for dinner most nights? Yeah. And they just sold your home to fund a wedding. A $400,000 wedding. Kinley was quiet for a moment. When she spoke again, her voice had that dangerous edge I remembered from law school. What do you want me to do? First, file an injunction to void the sale. Fraud invalidates the entire transaction. Done. What else? Contact Meridian's bank. Stop all payments to my parents effective immediately. Mortgage, credit cards, everything. Maya, that'll trigger foreclosure proceedings within 60 days. I know. They'll lose their house. They should have thought of that before they stole mine. Okay. Anything else? I pulled up my laptop and started typing. I'm sending you documentation of every payment Meridian has made on their behalf. Bank records, transaction histories, everything. I want you to prepare a comprehensive report. For what? I'm going to gift it to them, right around the time their wedding bills start bouncing. You're really going nuclear on this. They declared war when they forged my signature. I'm just finishing what they started. My phone buzzed with an email notification. I glanced at the sender and felt a cold smile spread across my face. Kinley, I have to go. I just got an email from someone named Destiny. She's apparently Sasha's wedding planner. What's it say? I opened the message and scanned it quickly. She's having payment processing issues with the deposits. Wants to speak with someone from the family urgently. The checks are already bouncing? Looks like it. My parents probably wrote checks against the sale proceeds before the money actually cleared. Amateur hour. You can't spend money from a fraudulent transaction. They're about to learn that the hard way. I closed my laptop and headed for the window, looking out at the Singapore skyline. How long will the injunction take? I can file it tomorrow morning. With the fraud evidence, we should have a temporary restraining order within 48 hours. Perfect. That gives them just enough time to dig themselves deeper. Maya, are you sure about this? Once we start this process, there's no going back. Your family will know exactly who's been supporting them all these years. I thought about Sasha's smug face on the video call, the way she dismissed my feelings like I was being unreasonable for caring about my own home being stolen. Good. I want them to know. I want them to understand exactly what they threw away. All right. I'll start drafting the paperwork tonight. Thank you, Kinley. I owe you. You don't owe me anything. This is what friends do. Besides, I've been waiting years for you to finally stand up to them. After we hung up, I sat in the silence of my hotel room, staring at Destiny's increasingly frantic emails. 3 more had come in while I was talking to Kinley, each one more desperate than the last. I opened my laptop and began typing a response to the wedding planner. Not to help, to watch the dominoes fall. Dear Destiny, I wrote, I understand you're having payment issues with the Gill wedding. Unfortunately, I'm currently overseas and unable to assist with financial matters. You may want to contact the family directly about alternative funding sources. Best of luck with the event. I hit send and immediately opened a new browser window. Time to do some research on wedding cancellation policies and vendor contracts. My phone buzzed again. Another email from Destiny. This one marked urgent. I deleted it without reading it. Let the games begin. The next morning brought chaos, and I had a front row seat to watch it unfold. My phone started buzzing at 6 a.m. Singapore time with notifications from the family group chat I'd muted months ago. I unmuted it just to watch the show. Sasha. OMG, the florist is being so difficult about payment timing. Mom. Don't worry, sweetheart. Dad's handling it. Sasha. But what if they cancel our order? The peonies are perfect. Dad. Everything's fine. Just some banking delays. I screenshot the conversation and sent it to Kinley with a message. It's starting. My laptop chimed with a video call from Kinley. I answered, and her face appeared on screen, coffee mug in hand. The injunction's filed, she said without preamble. Judge Morrison is reviewing it this afternoon. How long until they freeze the funds? If he signs off, the bank will get the order by end of business today. All money from that sale gets locked down pending investigation. Perfect timing. Sasha's dress fitting is tomorrow. You're enjoying this way too much. Am I? Let me read you the latest email from Destiny the wedding planner. I pulled up my inbox and found her message from 20 minutes ago. Dear Maya, I'm reaching out because I'm unable to contact your parents, and several vendors are threatening to cancel services due to payment issues. The catering deposit bounced, the venue is demanding immediate payment, and the band wants cash up front. Please call me urgently. Ouch. Wait, there's more. She sent another one 5 minutes later. Maya, I'm starting to panic. Your sister keeps telling me everything's fine, but I have 17 vendors asking for money and your parents aren't returning calls. My reputation is on the line here. Kinley shook her head. That poor woman. She's about to learn an expensive lesson about due diligence. My phone rang. Dad's contact photo filled the screen. Him grinning at last year's Christmas dinner, arm around Sasha. Speak of the devil. You're not answering? God, no, but I'll put it on speaker so you can hear the voicemail. The call went to voicemail, and Dad's voice filled my hotel room, strained and trying too hard to sound casual. Hey Maya, it's Dad. Just wanted to chat about some minor banking hiccups we're having. Nothing serious, Just some timing issues with the apartment sale. Give me a call when you get a chance, okay? Love you. Minor banking hiccups, Kinley repeated. That's one way to put it. He has no idea what's coming. My laptop pinged with another email. This one wasn't from Destiny. It was from someone named Jet at the Grandview Estate. Dear Ms. Gill, we've attempted to process the venue deposit multiple times, but all payments have been declined. Per our contract, we require full payment within 48 hours, or we'll need to release your date to other clients. Please contact us immediately. The venue's pulling out? Looks like it. And if I know Sasha, she's probably posted about this wedding all over social media. The embarrassment alone will kill her. Maya, your parents are calling me now. Don't answer. Let them sweat. Too late. I already declined it. But they left a voicemail. Play it. Kinley put her phone on speaker. Mom's voice came through, high-pitched and panicked. Kinley, this is Ava, Maya's mother. I know you and Maya are close, and we're having some confusion with our bank. Could you please ask Maya to call us? It's about the apartment sale, and there seems to be some kind of legal issue. We really need to talk to her. Legal issue, I repeated. That's cute. They're starting to figure it out. My phone buzzed with a text from Sasha. Maya, why aren't you answering Dad? This is my wedding. I showed Kinley the screen. She's still making it all about her. Of course she is. She's probably telling Xander that I'm being dramatic and difficult. Speaking of Xander, has he figured out what's happening? Not yet, but he will. His family has money. Old money. They know how to spot financial fraud. Another email popped up, this one from a vendor I didn't recognize. The subject line read, Gill Wedding, payment required. Maya, I'm looking at the bank records you sent me. Your parents have been living way beyond their means for years. Without your anonymous payments, they're completely screwed. Good. Their mortgage payment is due in 12 days. I know. Maya. What? They're going to lose everything. I stared at my reflection in the laptop screen, seeing a stranger looking back at me. Someone harder than I used to be. They stole my home, Kinley. They committed fraud. They've been bleeding me dry for years while treating me like an ATM. And when I needed them to respect the one thing that was truly mine, they sold it without a second thought. I know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just making sure you understand the consequences. I understand perfectly. My phone rang again. This time it was Sasha. Answer it, Kinley said. Let's hear what she has to say. I declined the call and waited for the voicemail. Sasha's voice was shrill with panic. Maya, what the hell is going on? Destiny is freaking out. The venue is threatening to cancel, and Mom and Dad are acting weird. You need to fix this right now. My wedding is in 5 weeks, and I am not letting you ruin it with whatever drama you're creating. Call me back. Whatever drama you're creating, Kinley repeated. Unbelievable. She still thinks this is my fault somehow. What's your next move? I opened a new document on my laptop and started typing. I'm preparing a little care package for my family. Bank records, payment histories, legal documents, everything they need to understand exactly how deep they're buried. When are you sending it? Tomorrow, right after Sasha's dress fitting gets canceled. My phone lit up with another call from Dad. Then Mom. Then Sasha again. I turned off the ringer and smiled. Let them panic. They're about to learn that actions have consequences. And Maya? Yeah? Remind me never to get on your bad side. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Too late for them to learn that lesson. The injunction hit at 3:47 p.m. their time. I know because Kinley called me the moment the bank froze the accounts. It's done, she said. Every penny from that apartment sale is locked down pending fraud investigation. How long until they find out? Probably when they try to make their next payment. Could be hours, could be... My phone exploded with notifications. The family group chat was going insane. Dad. What the hell is happening with our accounts? Mom. The bank says there's a legal hold on our money. Sasha. What does that mean? Dad. I'm calling Maya right now. I screenshot the chaos and sent it to Kinley. Found out sooner than expected. Dad's call came through immediately. I let it ring out, then played the voicemail on speaker. Maya, I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but you need to call me back right now. The bank froze our accounts and they're talking about fraud investigations. This isn't funny anymore. Game? Kinley raised an eyebrow. He thinks this is a game? Wait, there's more. Mom's voicemail came next, her voice shaking. Maya, sweetheart, please call us. There's been some terrible mistake with the bank. They're saying the apartment sale was illegal, but that's impossible. We're family. Please, honey, we need your help. Then Sasha's voice, pure venom. Maya, I swear to God, if you're behind this, I will never forgive you. My wedding is ruined. Destiny just called crying because nothing is paid for. Fix this now. Still making it all about her, Kinley observed. She has no idea how much worse it's about to get. I opened my laptop and pulled up the care package I'd been preparing. Bank statements, payment records, mortgage documents, everything showing exactly how much money I'd been funneling to my family for years. I'm sending it now. The whole package? Every last document. I want them to understand exactly what they've lost. I attached the files to an email and typed a simple message. Since you're having banking issues, I thought you might want to review your financial history. Pay special attention to the payments from Meridian Holdings. That's the company that's been covering your mortgage for the past 4 years. The same company that actually owned the apartment you just tried to steal. Consider this my resignation as your anonymous benefactor. Best of luck with the wedding. Maya. I hit send and immediately called Kinley back. It's done. They should get it any minute now. Maya, you just nuked them from orbit. They nuked themselves when they forged my signature. My phone started ringing again. Dad, then Mom, then Sasha. I declined every call and watched the voicemails pile up. Play the latest one, Kinley said. I put Dad's newest message on speaker. His voice was different now. Panicked. Desperate. Maya, we got your email. We need to talk. Please. I know you're angry, but we can work this out. We're family. You can't just... Please call me back. He's starting to understand. Wait. Here's Mom's. Mom's voice was barely a whisper. Maya, I don't understand. You've been... All this time you were... Oh God, what have we done? Please, sweetheart. Please call us. We can fix this. Then Sasha's, screaming, You psychotic bitch! You've been controlling our lives this whole time? Playing puppet master while pretending to be the victim? I hate you. My wedding is destroyed because of your sick revenge fantasy. And there's the real Sasha, I said. She's still not getting it. My laptop chimed with an email from Destiny. The subject line read, Urgent. Gil wedding cancellation. The wedding planner's bailing. I opened the message and read it aloud. Dear Gil family, due to non-payment and the current legal issues surrounding your accounts, I am forced to cancel all services for the Sasha Gil wedding. All vendors have been notified. I will be pursuing legal action for damages to my business reputation. Do not contact me again. Ouch. It gets better. Look at this. I pulled up Sasha's Instagram. Her latest post from this morning showed her at the bridal salon, beaming in her wedding dress with the caption, Final fitting before the big day. Can't wait to marry my prince. Blessed bride, Sanv dream wedding. The comments section was brutal. Didn't your wedding just get canceled? Girl, the tea is spilling on Facebook about your family. Is it true your parents committed fraud? Your wedding planner is dragging you on her business page. Yikes, this is embarrassing. She's being roasted alive, Kinley said. Public humiliation was always her worst fear. My phone rang again. This time it was a number I didn't recognize. Answer it, Kinley said. Might be interesting. Hello? Is this Maya? This is Xander, Sasha's, well, I guess her ex-fiancé now. I put him on speaker and gestured to Kinley. Hi, Xander. I'm sorry to hear about the engagement. Are you? Because from what I'm hearing, you orchestrated this whole thing. I didn't orchestrate anything. I just stopped enabling fraud. Look, I need to understand what happened. Sasha's telling me you sabotaged her wedding out of jealousy, but the legal documents suggest something else entirely. What do the documents suggest? That your parents stole your property and committed bank fraud. Multiple felonies, actually. That's accurate. And you've been financially supporting them for years without them knowing? Also accurate. Xander was quiet for a moment. Jesus Christ. Sasha has no idea, does she? She really thinks you're the villain here. Sasha thinks whatever makes her feel better about herself. I can't marry into this family, Maya. This level of deception, the fraud, the way they treated you, I can't be part of it. That's probably wise. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. What they did to you was unforgivable. Thank you. After he hung up, Kinley whistled low. Even the groom figured it out. Xander's not stupid. His family has old money. They know how to spot grifters. So Sasha lost her wedding, her fiancé, and her family's about to lose their house. Don't forget her social media reputation. Maya, your phone's lighting up again. I looked at the screen. 17 missed calls, 23 unread voicemails, and 46 text messages. They're in full panic mode. Are you going to answer eventually? Maybe. When I'm ready to hear them beg. I turned my phone face down and smiled. Let them sit with what they've done for a while. They've had years to treat me like family instead of a bank account. Now they get to learn what life looks like without me. Maya? Yeah? Remind me to never cross you. I laughed, and for the first time in days, it felt genuine. Too late for them to learn that lesson. By morning, the situation had exploded beyond anything I'd anticipated. Kinley called me at 7 a.m., her voice tight with urgency. Maya, you need to see what's happening online. Sasha's having a complete meltdown on social media. I grabbed my laptop and pulled up Instagram. Sasha's account was a disaster zone. She'd posted a 20-slide story rant at 3 a.m., and it was still going. My psycho sister has destroyed my life, I read aloud. She's been secretly controlling our family's finances for years, like some kind of puppet master. She stole my wedding money and got my fiancé to break up with me. She's a manipulative, jealous bitch who can't stand seeing me happy. It gets worse, Kinley said. Keep reading. Maya has been pretending to be poor while secretly being rich and making us beg for money. She's sick and twisted, and I hope she rots in hell. She ruined my perfect wedding because she's a sad, lonely workaholic who will die alone. The comments are brutal. I scrolled down. Hundreds of responses, and most of them weren't supporting Sasha. Girl, your sister was paying your bills and you sold her house? That's messed up. Wait, so she was helping your family and you're mad at her for stopping? Make it make sense. This sounds like your family committed fraud and got caught. The audacity to call someone manipulative when you literally stole their property. She's getting destroyed in the comments. It's not just Instagram, Kinley said. Someone screenshot her rant and posted it on Reddit. It's gone viral. The post has 15,000 upvotes and 3,000 comments. What's the general consensus? That your family are entitled fraudsters who got what they deserved. My phone started ringing. Mom's contact photo appeared. Answer it, Kinley said. I want to hear this. I put it on speaker. Maya, thank God. We need to talk. Do we? Please, sweetheart, come home. We can work this out as a family. The same family that sold my home behind my back? We made a mistake, a terrible mistake, but we can fix it. How exactly do you plan to fix fraud, Mom? Don't call it that. We're family. We were just borrowing against your asset. By forging my signature. Maya, please. Your father's having chest pains from the stress. Sasha's been crying for 2 days straight. We need you. Where was this concern when you were spending my money? We didn't know it was your money. You never told us about the holding company or the payments. We thought we had a guardian angel. You did, and you betrayed her. Maya. I hung up and immediately got a text from Sasha. Answer your phone, you selfish bitch. Mom's having a panic attack, and Dad might be having a heart attack. This is your fault. Classy as always, Kinley observed. Wait, there's more. Another text from Sasha. Xander's family is telling everyone we're criminals. His mom called me a gold digger and said I'm lucky they don't press charges. I can't show my face anywhere because of what you did. She's still making herself the victim. Of course she is. Look at this email. I opened a message from someone named Amara at First National Bank. Ms. Maya, I hope you don't mind me reaching out directly. I'm the loan officer who's been handling your parents' account. I wanted to give you a heads up that they've been in here 3 times this week, trying to get emergency loans using your apartment as collateral. When we told them the property was tied up in legal proceedings, your father became aggressive. Security had to escort him out yesterday. Dad got kicked out of the bank. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but they also tried to take out a loan against their car and were denied due to their debt-to-income ratio. Without the anonymous payments they were receiving, they're completely insolvent. I thought you should know in case they try to contact you for financial assistance. They're desperate, completely broke, and now everyone knows it. My laptop chimed with a video call from an unknown number. I almost declined it, then recognized the background. It was Destiny, the wedding planner. I have to take this, I answered, and Destiny's face appeared on screen. She looked exhausted, her usually perfect makeup smudged. Maya, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I need to ask you something. Go ahead. Did your family really forge your signature to sell your apartment? Yes. And you've been secretly paying their bills for years? Yes. Destiny closed her eyes and took a deep breath. I'm ruined. Completely ruined. 17 vendors are suing me for breach of contract because I guaranteed payment for services I can't deliver. My business insurance won't cover fraud-related losses. I'm sorry that happened to you. Your sister keeps calling me, screaming that this is all your fault and demanding I fix it somehow. She wants me to eat the costs and provide services for free to make up for the confusion. That sounds like Sasha. Maya, I have to ask, is there any way you could help? Not for your family, but for me? I'm going to lose everything because I trusted them. I looked at Kinley, who shook her head slightly. Destiny, I understand you're in a difficult position, but my family committed fraud. I can't enable that by covering their debts. I know, I had to ask. Have you considered suing them for damages? With what money? They're broke, and my lawyer says you can't get blood from a stone. After she hung up, Kinley leaned back in her chair. That poor woman. She's collateral damage, but she chose to work with my family without doing proper due diligence. Maya, your phone's ringing again. This time it was a number I didn't recognize with a local area code. Hello? Is this Maya? This is Detective Rodriguez, with the Fraud Division. We've received a complaint about forged documents related to a property sale. We'd like to speak with you when you return to the country. I put him on speaker. What kind of complaint? Your parents filed a report claiming you're harassing them financially and that the apartment sale was legitimate. But the bank's investigation suggests otherwise. The sale was fraudulent. I have documentation proving it. We'd like to review that documentation. When will you be back in town? Next week. Perfect. We'll be in touch. After he hung up, Kinley whistled. They actually called the police on you? They're trying to flip the narrative. Make me the criminal. That's not going to work. The evidence is too clear. My phone buzzed with another text from Sasha. The police are involved now because of your psycho revenge plot. You've destroyed our entire family. I hope you're happy. I showed Kinley the message. She still doesn't get it. She never will. In her mind, she's always the victim. Maya, are you ready for what comes next? This is about to get very public and very ugly. I looked out at the Singapore skyline, thinking about the family I'd once loved, the sister I'd once protected, the parents I'd once respected. Let it get ugly. They made their choice when they decided to steal from me. And if they end up in jail, then they'll have plenty of time to think about what they did. My phone rang again. This time I didn't even look at who was calling. They can keep calling. I'm done being their safety net. Maya? Yeah? For what it's worth, I think you're doing the right thing. Thanks. But right or wrong, there's no going back now. The phone kept ringing. I turned it off completely. Some bridges are meant to burn. The ambush came at 2 a.m. Singapore time. My hotel phone rang, jolting me awake. The caller ID showed an international number I didn't recognize. Hello? Maya, thank God. Dad's voice was hoarse, desperate. We've been trying to reach you for days. I know. We need to talk. All of us. As a family. Put me on speaker. I heard shuffling, then Mom's voice, thick with tears. Maya, sweetheart, please come home. We can work this out. Can we? Because last I checked, you committed fraud. Don't say that word, Dad snapped. We're family. Families don't commit fraud against each other. Families don't steal each other's homes either. Sasha's voice cut through, shrill and furious. You ruined my life. My wedding is destroyed. Xander won't even look at me, and everyone thinks we're criminals. You are criminals. We needed the money, Maya. You have so much, and you never share it with us. I've been sharing it with you for 4 years. $2,800 a month for your mortgage, plus credit cards, car payments, and your college loans. That was you? Mom's voice was barely a whisper. Meridian Holdings. My company. I've been keeping you afloat while you treated me like an ATM. Why didn't you tell us? Dad asked. Because I knew you'd take it for granted. Just like you took everything else. Maya, please, Mom begged. We're going to lose the house. The bank is starting foreclosure proceedings. Good. How can you say that? Sasha screamed. This is our family home. The family home you were willing to sacrifice my apartment for. That's different. How is it different, Sasha? Because you don't even live there. You're always traveling for work. So that gave you the right to steal it? We weren't stealing. We were using family resources for a family celebration. By forging my signature. Maya, Dad's voice was pleading now. We made a mistake, a big mistake. But we can fix this. You can stop the foreclosure. Help us pay back the vendors. No. What do you mean, no? I mean, no. I'm not fixing this. I'm not paying for Sasha's wedding. I'm not saving your house. I'm done. You can't be serious, Mom said. I've never been more serious in my life. Maya, please. Sasha's voice cracked. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry we sold your apartment. But you can buy another one. You can't replace my wedding day. Watch me not care. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. For the first time in years, I'm being completely honest with all of you. What's that supposed to mean? Dad asked. It means I'm tired of pretending we're a loving family when you only love what I can do for you. I'm tired of being the responsible one while you treat me like a bank. I'm tired of watching you spoil Sasha while taking everything I give you for granted. That's not true, Mom protested. Isn't it? When's the last time any of you called me just to see how I was doing? When's the last time you asked about my life, my work, my happiness? Silence. When's the last time you thanked me for anything? For the money? For the support? For always being there when you needed me? More silence. You can't answer because it never happened. I was never your daughter. I was your solution to every financial problem. Maya, that's not fair, Dad said. What's not fair is selling someone's home behind their back. What's not fair is forging legal documents. What's not fair is spending 4 years taking anonymous payments and never once wondering if you should be more grateful. We didn't know they were from you. But you knew someone was helping you. Someone was keeping you from losing everything, and you never once thought maybe you should live within your means instead of relying on charity. It wasn't charity, Mom said weakly. It was exactly charity, and you repaid it by stealing from me. Maya, please. Sasha was crying now. I'll do anything. I'll pay you back. With what money? You don't have a job. You've never had a job. You're 27 years old, and you've never supported yourself for a single day. That's not my fault. Whose fault is it? Mom and Dad always said I didn't need to work because I was going to marry well. And how did that work out for you? Maya, stop, Dad said. You're being unnecessarily cruel. Am I? Or am I finally telling the truth about this family? What truth? Mom asked. That you raised one daughter to be responsible and the other to be a parasite. That you've been bleeding me dry for years while convincing yourselves you deserved it. That when I needed you to respect the one thing that was truly mine, you sold it without a second thought. We needed the money for Sasha's wedding. Sasha needed a wedding she could afford, not a $400,000 fantasy funded by fraud. It wasn't fraud, Sasha screamed. Then why are the police investigating it? Because you called them. I didn't call anyone. The bank called them when they discovered forged documents. Maya, Dad's voice was broken now. What do you want from us? What will it take to fix this? Nothing. Nothing? There's nothing you can do to fix this, Dad. You can't unforgeet my signature. You can't unsell my apartment. You can't undo 4 years of taking me for granted. So that's it? Mom asked. You're just going to abandon your family? You abandoned me the moment you decided to steal from me. We're still your family. No, you're not. Family doesn't treat each other the way you've treated me. Maya, please. I hung up. The phone immediately started ringing again. I unplugged it from the wall. My cell phone buzzed with text after text. Maya, please call us back. We're sorry. Don't do this to us. You're destroying our family. Please, Maya, we need you. I turned off my phone and sat in the darkness of my hotel room. For the first time in years, the silence felt peaceful. No one was asking me for money. No one was expecting me to fix their problems. No one was taking me for granted. I was finally free. 3 days later, the dominoes were still falling. I turned my phone back on to find 127 missed calls and 89 voicemails. But it wasn't just my family blowing up my phone anymore. Kinley called first thing in the morning, her voice tight with barely contained excitement. Maya, you need to see the news. What news? Local Channel 7 picked up the story. Family fraud scandal rocks, upscale wedding industry. They interviewed Destiny and 3 other vendors who got stiffed. They put it on TV? It gets better. Sasha's Instagram meltdown got picked up by one of those drama channels on TikTok. The video has 2 million views. I pulled up TikTok on my laptop. Sure enough, there was Sasha's face in the thumbnail, mid-scream, with the caption, entitled, Bride's Family Commits Fraud for Dream Wedding. The comments are savage, Kinley continued. Everyone's calling her the poster child for spoiled brat syndrome. What about my parents? Your dad got arrested yesterday. I nearly dropped my phone. What? Disorderly conduct at the bank. Apparently he went in demanding they release the frozen funds and started screaming at the tellers when they explained about the fraud investigation. Jesus. He's out on bail, but Maya, this is escalating fast. The DA's office is considering formal charges. My laptop chimed with an email from an address I didn't recognize. The subject line read, Information you need to see. Kinley, I'm getting weird emails now. From who? I opened the message. Someone named Amara from the bank. She says she has information about my parents' financial situation that I need to see. The loan officer who contacted you before? Yeah. She's asking if we can video chat. Do it. Put me on mute, but keep me on the line. I called Amara's number. She answered immediately, looking nervous. Maya, thank you for calling. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I felt you deserved to know the full extent of what's been happening. What do you mean? Your parents have been trying to take out loans using your name and credit for months, even before the apartment sale. That's identity theft. We flagged it and denied the applications, but they kept trying. Different banks, different loan officers. They've been desperate for cash for a long time. How long? Based on what I can see, they've been living paycheck to paycheck since 2019. Without your anonymous payments, they would have lost the house years ago. They told me Dad got a promotion at work. Your father was laid off 18 months ago. He's been collecting unemployment and doing odd jobs, but it's nowhere near enough to maintain their lifestyle. My stomach dropped. They've been lying about everything. There's more. Your sister has been running up credit card debt in your mother's name. Designer clothes, spa treatments, wedding planning expenses. We're talking about $60,000 in unsecured debt. $60,000. And that's just what I can see from our bank. There are probably other creditors. Amara, why are you telling me this? Because they're trying to blame you for their financial problems. They filed a complaint with the police claiming you've been financially abusing them, withholding money that rightfully belongs to the family. That's insane. I know, but they're desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. I wanted you to have the full picture before you come back to town. After she hung up, I unmuted Kinley. Did you hear all that? Every word. Maya, they're trying to frame you as the bad guy. Of course they are. But here's the thing. All this information Amara just gave you, it proves they've been committing fraud for months, not just with your apartment. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. This is Xander. Can we talk? There's something you need to know about Sasha. I showed Kinley the message. Answer it. I called Xander back. Maya, thank God. I've been trying to reach you. What's going on? Sasha's been calling my parents, trying to get them to pay for the wedding. She told them you're mentally unstable and that our families need to manage the situation together. She what? She's claiming you've had a psychotic break, and that's why you're destroying the family. She wants my parents to give her money and help her get you committed for psychiatric evaluation. You're kidding. I wish I was. My mother called me laughing because it was so ridiculous. But Maya, Sasha actually believes this narrative. She's convinced herself that you're the villain and she's the victim. What did your parents say? They told her to lose their number. My family's been dealing with grifters for generations. We know the signs. I'm sorry you got dragged into this. Don't be. I'm grateful I found out what kind of family I was marrying into before it was too late. Xander, can I ask you something? Sure. Did Sasha ever mention that I was supporting my parents financially? Never. She always talked about how selfish you were, how you made all this money but never shared it with the family. She said you were jealous of her relationship with your parents. She had no idea I was paying their bills. None. Maya, I think your sister is genuinely delusional. She's created this fantasy where she's the perfect daughter and you're the evil sister who ruins everything out of spite. After we hung up, Kinley whistled low. She's actually trying to get you committed. That's a new low, even for Sasha. Maya, your phone's lighting up again. I looked at the screen. Multiple missed calls from numbers I didn't recognize. Reporters, I realized. The story's getting bigger. Are you going to talk to them? Hell no. But I am going to do something else. What? I opened my laptop and started typing. I'm going to post the truth. All of it. Bank records, legal documents, everything. If they want to play this game in public, I'll give the public the whole story. Maya, are you sure? Once you put this out there, there's no taking it back. Good. I want everyone to know exactly what kind of people they are. I uploaded the documents to a secure file sharing site and started writing a detailed post explaining everything. The years of financial support, the forged signatures, the fraud, the lies. There, I said, hitting publish. Let's see them spin this. Within minutes, my post was being shared across multiple platforms. The evidence was undeniable, the timeline clear. My phone rang. It was a number I didn't recognize. Maya, this is Detective Rodriguez. We need to talk. About what? Your parents just filed a restraining order against you, claiming harassment and financial abuse. But based on the evidence you just posted online, I think we need to have a very different conversation. What kind of conversation? The kind where we discuss pressing charges against them for fraud, identity theft, and filing false police reports. I smiled for the first time in days. Detective, I'd be happy to cooperate with that investigation. The hunter had become the hunted, and I was just getting started. The courtroom was packed when I finally flew back home. Detective Rodriguez had fast-tracked the case once my evidence went public, and the media attention made it impossible to ignore. I sat in the front row, watching my parents at the defendant's table. Dad looked like he'd aged 10 years in 2 weeks. Mom kept dabbing at her eyes with tissues. Sasha sat behind them, glaring at me with pure hatred. All rise for the Honorable Judge Martinez. The judge was a no-nonsense woman in her 50s who'd clearly read every document in the case file. This is a preliminary hearing for charges of fraud, identity theft, and filing false police reports against Albert and Ava Gill. Ms. Maya, you're the complainant? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gill, you're representing yourself? Dad stood up shakily. Yes, Your Honor. We couldn't afford a lawyer. I see. And Ms. Sasha, you're here as a witness? I'm here to tell the truth about my sister's lies, Sasha said loudly. You'll speak when spoken to, Judge Martinez said sharply. Now, let's review the evidence. The prosecutor laid it out methodically. The forged signatures, the fraudulent sale, the years of financial support my parents had accepted while planning to steal from me, the attempted identity theft for additional loans. Your Honor, Dad said when given the chance to speak, we're a family. Maya's been supporting us for years. We thought the apartment was a family asset. Mr. Gill, did you forge your daughter's signature on legal documents? Well, yes, but did you sell property that belonged to her without her knowledge or consent? Technically, yes, but she wasn't using it. Mr. Gill, there is no technically when it comes to fraud. You either committed these crimes or you didn't. Mom stood up, tears streaming down her face. Your Honor, Maya's been playing games with our family for years. She's been secretly controlling our finances, manipulating us. Mrs. Gill, your daughter was voluntarily paying your bills. That's called generosity, not manipulation. But she never told us. She had no obligation to tell you. The money was hers to give or withhold as she saw fit. Sasha couldn't contain herself anymore. She ruined my wedding. She destroyed our family out of spite. Ms. Sasha, you're out of order. She's a vindictive bitch who, bailiff, remove Ms. Sasha from my courtroom. I watched as security escorted my screaming sister out. Even now, she couldn't accept responsibility for anything. Your Honor, the prosecutor continued, the defendants have also filed false police reports claiming the victim was financially abusing them, when in fact, she was supporting them. I've reviewed those reports, Judge Martinez said. They're clearly retaliatory and without merit. Dad tried one more time. Your Honor, we're willing to make restitution. We can pay Maya back. With what money, Mr. Gill? According to the financial records, you're completely insolvent. We'll figure something out. We're family. Mr. Gill, you forfeited the right to claim family loyalty when you committed fraud against your daughter. The judge's ruling was swift and decisive. Dad got 18 months in minimum security prison. Mom got 12 months and probation. Both were ordered to pay full restitution, though everyone knew they'd never be able to. As the courtroom cleared, Kinley squeezed my shoulder. How do you feel? Empty, I said honestly. satisfied, but empty. That's normal. You did the right thing. Did I? I just sent my parents to prison. You held them accountable for their crimes. There's a difference. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed us. I gave a brief statement about the importance of financial boundaries and family accountability, then got in Kinley's car. "Where to?" she asked. "The apartment. I want to see it." We drove to my old building in silence. The doorman, Carlos, recognized me immediately. "Ms. Maya, we heard about the trouble. I'm so sorry." "Thank you, Carlos. Is the apartment still empty?" "Yes, ma'am. The sale was voided, so it's still yours." I took the elevator up to the 15th floor and opened the door to my home. Everything was exactly as I'd left it 8 months ago. My books on the shelves, my photos on the walls, my life frozen in time. "It feels different," I told Kinley. "How so?" "Smaller, like it belongs to someone else." My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, then saw it was from Xander. "Maya, I wanted you to know. Sasha's been telling everyone you bribed the judge and fabricated evidence. She started a GoFundMe to fight your lies. It has $12 in donations." I showed Kinley the message. "She's never going to change, is she?" "Probably not. But that's not your problem anymore." "What about my parents?" "What about them?" "They're going to prison because of me. They're going to prison because they committed crimes. You didn't make them forge your signature, Maya. You didn't make them steal from you." I walked to the window and looked out at the city skyline. Somewhere out there, my family was dealing with the consequences of their actions. Sasha was probably posting more rants on social media. My parents were probably still trying to figure out how to blame me for their situation. "Kinley?" "Yeah?" "I want to sell this place." "Really?" "Yeah. Too many bad memories now. I want to start fresh somewhere else." "Where will you go?" "I don't know yet. Maybe stay in Singapore? Maybe try somewhere new entirely." "What about your family?" I turned away from the window. "What family?" "The people who raised me are strangers. They showed me exactly who they are when they thought I was powerless to stop them." "Do you regret it? Any of it?" I thought about the question seriously. The years of financial support, the secret payments, the elaborate revenge, the public humiliation, the criminal charges. "No," I said finally. "I regret that it came to this, but I don't regret standing up for myself. For the first time in my life, I chose me over them." "And how does that feel?" "Terrifying, liberating, lonely." I paused. "But right." My phone rang. It was Detective Rodriguez. "Maya, I wanted to let you know. We've had 3 other families come forward with similar stories after seeing your case in the news. Parents stealing from adult children, forging signatures, financial abuse. Your case is opening doors for other victims." "That's good, I guess." "It is good. You stood up for yourself, and now others feel empowered to do the same." After he hung up, I looked around the apartment one more time. "Ready to go?" Kinley asked. "Yeah, I'm ready." We locked up and headed for the elevator. As the doors closed, I caught my reflection in the polished metal. I looked different. Older, maybe. Definitely harder. But also free. "Kinley?" "Yeah?" "Thank you, for everything. That's what friends are for." "Real friends, you mean?" "The only kind worth having." As we walked out of the building, I deleted my parents' contact information from my phone. Then Sasha's. Then every relative who'd sent me angry messages about destroying the family. The phone felt lighter in my hand. Some bridges are meant to burn. And sometimes, the only way to save yourself is to walk away from the ashes and never look back. I was finally free to find out who I was when I wasn't busy being everyone else's solution. And for the first time in years, that felt like enough.